In today's business spotlight, we're going to talk about Samsung. Samsung, a global brand. There are a lot of lessons we could really learn from Samsung. And today, I am going to give a brief history of Samsung and what lessons we can learn as an entrepreneur and as a career individual. So, welcome to this channel, and this channel is all about personal growth and business strategies. So, let us dive into the history of Samsung. Samsung was founded in 1938 by Lee Byung-chul. Lee Byung-chul. Lee Byung-chul. And the company began as a trading company, grocery, and export goods in and out of the city there in Korea. When the company started, they in fact exported and sold Korean dry fish. That was quite amazing to know. And thereafter, between 1960 to 1980, the company invested in the electronics industry. Electronics industry. They invested in the electronics industry, and then they have what we call the Samsung Electronics, Samsung Semiconductor and Telecommunication. They have Samsung Corning, and they have a whole lot of electronic, maybe subsector under that brand called company. Then between 1980 to 2000, the company ventured into the telecommunication hardware business. Telecommunication hardware business. So they had to ensure that they have they came up with their own the first black and white TV, LED TV, and so many other hardwares. They were able to at least produce it on their own. And in that same period, the company also invested in what we call fertilizer, even insurance services, and they were able to expand the business to countries like Portugal, Germany, and at least that was how the company was able to at least expand from being a local brand to that of an international one. I also know that the company also expanded into New York, then in the USA. So between 2000 and present, the company now invested in the mobile, that is 2000 to present. Samsung invested in mobile market industry. So we have a lot of products, Samsung phones and the likes. When they started as a phone, they did struggle, but with time, they were able to at least find their way around it. And it is important to note that in 1987, I'm taking us back now, that in 1987, the founder of Samsung, Lee Byung-chul, passed on. And, later, Lee Kong-chi was the one that took over the mantle of leadership. He happened to be one of the son of that of Lee Byung-chul. And Lee Kong-hee was the one that now took over from that time of 2000 to present. That was after the 1987 when the father died. He mounted into the leadership, and he was able to at least bring a whole lot of growth to the business. So these are the history. This is the history of Samsung, and from this short history of Samsung, I have taken note of few lessons I think we should also emulate from Samsung. And the first thing is that number one, we just have to take what? Action. We need to take action. You have to take action. Take action. You just have to take action. And the action I'm talking about here is that you should have your own business. The business may be, if the business in the case of Samsung was that they started as a grocery business and they sold noodles, sold sugar. That is the way to go. So if you are watching this video, start something. Start something no matter how small it is. So take action. And if you are working with an organization, give in your best to ensure that what you are being paid for, at least you are able to deliver. The second thing that I would also like to mention is that you should what? Reinvent. Reinvent. From that story of Samsung, you will realize that Samsung reinvented themselves because they started as a trading and they were selling, they sold sugar, sold fish, and the rest of likes. Then later, they transcended into electronics, Samsung telecommunication hardware, and now mobile phones and other forms of electronic. So they reinvent themselves to be able to at least keep with economic reality. They keep with the gaps that they have noticed in the industry, and they were able to at least come in with a product to at least fill in that. So for you watching, I would like you to also reinvent yourself. You may have been doing a particular job for a very long time and you see that things are not really working your way. So it will be good for you to pause and reinvent yourself. Look at the labor market and see what is actually in need right now, and see how well you can be able to at least find your way into that, at least learning that particular skill to be able to remain relevant in the marketplace. And if you are a business, you don't need to stick with one particular product. We've seen some companies, they either stick with a company, so you have to change that mindset, not to stick with just a particular product. So at least every time on a regular basis, try to come on board with a new product, and that is where the innovation comes in. Survey the market, look for the gap, and bring up either your new products or new service to the marketplace. Then the third thing I would also like to mention is that Samsung are a fantastic succession plan. Succession plan. The succession plan was that when they lost the founder, Lee Byung-chul, Lee Kun-hee was able to step in easily because he has already understood, he knows the process, he knows the business culture of Samsung. That was easily able to blend in and continue with the success of Samsung. So I remember MKO Abiola, the late MKO Abiola in Nigeria, happened to be a successful business brand. He has a lot of companies. Some of them are Concord, Abiola Babes, Football, a lot of them. But after his demise, the company could not survive because of this lack of succession plan. So if you are an entrepreneur, please ensure that you have a succession plan. Look for someone that can continue from where you stop in your business. That person doesn't have to be your family member. If you cannot get anyone in your family member, you could look for a way to get someone to buy into your company shares so that that company can definitely move on and continue when you are no longer there. And the fourth thing is that the company Samsung expanded to other countries. And you see that they moved to New York, then expanded to Germany, to Portugal, just China, Asian countries. So anyone that is trying to be successful based on the lessons from Samsung story, you need to look for a way to go global. You have to be global company. Global. You have to be global. So you need to ensure that you have customer outside your own domain. And there are ways to do that. One easy way is to use the social media to promote your product online and make sure that your product is something that has that global need that people from outside your immediate environment may likely want to buy. So when you are developing your product, have that mindset, that future thinking that this product is not only going to serve my immediate environment, but it is something that even someone outside my environment can also find it valuable and useful. So these are the lessons from Samsung Group that started in 1938 and transcended, and the pattern has been of growth, growth, growth. And I say that for you to learn from this, you need to take action. If you have not been doing anything, stand up and think about doing something. Just like the way Lim Byung-chul, the founder of Samsung, started his trading and grocery business. Then you need to reinvent yourself. You may be at a crossroad now. You don't know what to do. It is the time for you to think about your life, look at all the challenges facing the world, and look for a way to help us possibly find a solution to some of these problems. And in the case of Samsung, they moved from being a grocery store, a trading company, or exporting of goods in their community to becoming someone who goes into manufacturing. They manufacture semiconductor, manufacture cunning, manufacture electronics, phones, and the rest of like. So reinvent yourself by learning new skills, making yourself relevant, learning something that will make you so valuable in your workplace, in your community. Look for a way to solve a problem. And the third is that the succession plan. Anything you are doing, let someone be able to do it when you are no longer there. In your office, if you have a knowledge, share with other people, let them be able to do such things too. Don't see it as a competition, rather see it as a way of also contributing to your organization or your business or community development. If you are an entrepreneur, please let someone also understudy your business, someone you believe that can also take up the business from wherever you stop at a particular time, because at a point in time, we are no longer to be there forever. So you need to create your own succession plan. And the fourth thing I have here is that you have to be global. You have to think global. You can start locally, but think globally. And that is 4 lessons for everyone that watched this video. Think about it, and also on the chat box, please make your own comment and type what other lessons you learned from Samsung experience. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let us grow together. Thank you, and see you in the next video.